All right. So in the last video, I made a mechanism for creation of billing, and in this video, we will continue. We will actually make. I have already made a form. It's just a standard form. Nothing is, different than the normal forms that we have already created. So if you're following me along, you should create this form as well. So I've created this form, and this form will be used particularly to collect the payment and to take the printout of billing document and share it with the patients. So that's the idea. Also, we'll have some mechanism, or we'll have some conditions involved in this tutorial, in which we will check the value of the payment collected, which is being entered, is the same against the payment due or not. If not, then we will uh, throw a error box and we will let the user know. So that's the mechanism I'm thinking to build. Also, we'll have another button here for collection of payment, so we will work on that as well. All of that will be in this video, so if you're interested, do watch until the end. I'm sure you will learn thing or two. And subscribe to the channel if you have not, and hit the bell icon so you get notification whenever I upload a new video. So let's go ahead and let's work on it. So first we'll work on the design view of the billing document. And as I mentioned, first I will click on amount collected field, and we will click on event tab. And the idea is that after update event, that's what we are going to work on. So we'll click on dot 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 code builder, and here we are. Now we will have some conditions. For example, if the billing ID is empty, or the if the amount collected is zero, if the amount due is zero, we can have any kind of conditions that we want. We can have that onto this form. So let's go ahead and write some code. So we'll say if is null. Okay, if is null, me dot billing ID, or me if me dot status, sorry, if me dot amount collected equals 0, or if me dot amount due is also 0, right? So we want something as amount due, we want some value as amount collected. Then if that's the case, then oops, all right, that should not be there. Let's close that with end if as well. And now in here we will give a message box. So we'll say do cmd dot beep message box, this action cannot be performed. Okay, so we'll say it's will be critical, and we will have information in the header. Okay, so that's done. Now what else we can do? Well, let me just copy this, and we'll say else if me dot collected is less than me dot due. All right. um if me dot collected is less than me dot due, then through a message, because what we want is basically, if the $100 is due, we should be collecting $100. If anything below or anything above, in matter of fact, if that's the case, we should throw a message box. Otherwise, if the collected amount is equal to due, then we should proceed and carry on with the task. And also it will require a very few lines of codes, because there's not a lot of that needs to be done in order to have data transferred, because this is a bound form. So we all know bound form doesn't require the record sets and other code to transfer it. It is bound. Whatever you will add in here, it will actually go and sit in the table, basically get stored, get updated. So that's why it's important that we follow this short code, so we can quickly make the updates, and user will definitely appreciate that fact. So if it is less than due, then you say the amount collection is less than amount due. All right, so that's the error. We can have another error, as I said, even if it is greater than what is due, we don't want to collect any more amount than what is due. So in any case, we should have a message box that is showing to the user, hey, you are doing it incorrectly. Okay, so in this case, because the collection amount is greater, not less, so that should reflect in the message box as well. The only way it should it should actually allow if the, okay, so else if me dot collected equals me dot due, then go ahead and basically update the message box. So for example, oh, not message box, the fields on the table, on the form, what's happening. So first we'll update billing date, then we'll update the payment status. So we'll say me dot billing date equals format. Don't forget to do that. If you want date and time, then you can just say now. If you want only date, then you can do the formatting. Okay. um Day, month, year, parenthesis close, and me dot payment status equals payment collected, because that's what is happening here, right? uh, Also, don't forget that you have to update the visit form as well. Remember the main visit form, you have to update the status here as well. So for that, we will have a code, one line of code, forms, you know, visit form, exclamation mark, status equals payment collected. Same status on the main form as well. And then after that, what we would like to do is basically we would like to capture this information into the audit trail as well. So we will literally call global mod dot audit. All right, and that's about it. Hey, how about giving a beep to the user? So beep is kind of you know, for user is a confirmation with the message box, with the beep, it looks and sound better as well. Okay, so I think this is enough for now. And I mean, you can do many things from here, but this is the primary status update that we would like to do, we must do, and that's why I've chosen this path. All right, so that is done. Now let's go to billing form. And how about testing it out? But the problem is, I have to open this billing form from somewhere. And how about having a button here, payment collection, and the user click on that button, and we have the billing form appears. Okay, so let's go ahead and have the collect payment button here. All right, so collect payment. We have to have a space. All right, so in here, btn collect payment. Okay, now think about some logics. Now, logic here, number one, this button should only work if the status is billing created. Otherwise, in any case, this button should give an error. If you want this button to work, for example, this button should open the billing form in edit mode if the status is billing created. This button should open the billing form in read only mode if the status is basically it says payment collected, or anything else beyond that. So we'll put those conditions with this button. Now we'll go to the event tab of property sheet of the button, and we'll click on click event dot dot dot, and we want this button to work only in two conditions. One, if the status of the form of the visit, sorry, of the visit status is billing created or payment collected. In those two conditions, we want this button to be activated. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So we'll say if me dot status equals billing created, then all right, then open the form. Oh, do cmd dot open form, and we'll give a form name billing form, comma, 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 where condition, and what do we have as unique id? Visit id is a unique id. Okay, and that's we are going to give a reference for. And now we will open it into the edit mode because it's a billing created. However, if it is billing payment collected, so else if me dot status equals payment collected, then what should we do? Well, we want everything to be same except the last part. In here we will choose a read only mode. Okay, else just throw a message box, hey, this cannot be done. So it's a very straightforward that this button will only work in those two conditions. Why I keep saying those? um, Message box This action cannot be performed. Okay, comma, will be critical, comma, title should be information. And that's about it. We'll end if let's debug. So if in case we have done any mistake. All right, so let's go ahead and first let's open this. So the treatment created, that's the status. If I click here, it should give me an error, and rest assured this action cannot be performed. But if I open the visit ID number one, which is the status is billing created, it should actually open the billing form in edit mode. That's what I want. And yeah, rest assured that's what is happening here. Now, if now let's test it. So if, for example, instead of $100, I'm trying to collect $90. So watch what happens. And by the way, there's going to one line of code that I need to add to correct um, about what is happening in a moment. So if I press enter, okay, watch here. The amount collection is less than amount due. Until here, perfect. It is working fine the way it should work. Now watch what happens if I click on OK. Technically speaking, if I click on OK, this should go back to the initial stage, which was 0. All right, but it won't happen. So let's click on OK, and you see it stays $90. I want this to go back to 0, not $90, because I'm refusing to do this payment collection process until the amount collected is due is equal to an amount due, and that I want to correct. And also another thing I just noticed, it should be, it seems like it's adding, right? So 100 plus 90, 190, it should be subtracting. So let's fix these and then let's come back. Okay. So for example, if I go here and to revert to the actual condition or the actual number, we'll have this one tiny line of code, me dot undo. That's it. And we'll have this after every event where the amount collected is not equal to amount due. Okay. What else I said we will correct? Okay, so we'll go to the billing form, and I said we will have in here, sorry, here, and instead of due plus collected, we'll say due minus collected. Okay, now let's go ahead and test it out. So we'll click here, collect payment, and oh, right now it's it won't allow because all right, I'll make another billing. All right, so let's click on let's have $100, and now because $100 is amount collected against due is completely same, so it went ahead and it said payment collected. Now because we have collected the payment, we should open this form should open, the billing form should open in read only mode. So let's test that, and if I'll try to change anything, it won't. I don't know whether you can hear or not, but it is not allowing me to add anything or delete anything because it is now open as the read only. Another thing I just I just it just came in my mind. If I close this form, if I open it, remember payment collected is the status. Now the create prescription, create treatment, they got reactivated, and that's because I have the condition with the wrong status. So what do I mean by that? So let's click here. So it's not invoiced, it should be payment collected, and now the form will open in non-editable way. Okay, let's click here and let's create a billing for this. So if I click here, it says this section cannot because billing is not done. Let's add prescription. All right, one frequency once a day. Let's say start date. All right, take after talk advice. Click create, done, close. Okay, now let's create a billing document. So we'll create a billing, and I click on audit trail, and the audit trail is being created. Fantastic. And now if I'll click on collect payment, and we have $95 to be collected. So let's say I'm trying to collect 80, and it says amount collection is less than amount due, and now it goes back to 0. Let's say I'm trying to collect 100 instead of 95. Now it is greater than what we are trying to collect. So now let's collect equal amount, and now payment collected, that's the status, and that's about it. The status has been changed. If we'll go to the audit trail is billing collected, payment collected, billing created, payment collected. Fantastic. And these are all grayed out. So that's about it. I wanted to demonstrate this. So we can create a report in terms of creating the billing printout, prescription printout, Probably we'll do that in the next video, but we shall end this video here. I hope that you have learned something. If you have, please do let me know in the comments below. If you like whatever you've seen, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you get notification whenever I upload a new video. Thanks. I'll see you next one.